Hey everyone, welcome to the PCS-Proof Podcast, where we're covering the vital things you need to know to thrive in every season of military life. I'm your host and milspouse fitness expert, Grace Barnick-Damazo, and I encourage you to join me each week as we dive deep into topics like fitness, wellness, and entrepreneurship as a military spouse so that you can maintain your own sense of identity and purpose, conquering every transition with strength and resilience. As we journey together, you can expect uplifting conversations and insights. We'll share some laughs, and you can count on me to keep it real so that together we can become truly PCS-proof. Now let's get into it.
Welcome back to the PCS-Proof Podcast. It's been a crazy few weeks over here. My husband is getting ready to go underway again. And as I mentioned in one of the earlier episodes where I went over the 4 seasons of military life, I mentioned that those seasons can change very quickly and they don't always go in order. So we are definitely in that fall going into winter season. All of a sudden, it happened very quickly. And so stress levels have been a little bit higher and just trying to prepare for that underway and spend time together. And all of that has ultimately led to my husband getting sick, and then he passed that sickness right on to me. I do not get sick. I mean, on a bad year, maybe I get sick twice in the year. That is a pretty rare occasion. But I caught it, and it was just a reminder to me that if we're not fully paying attention to or aware of our stress levels, our body is going to make us aware. And so me getting sick was just my body telling me that I needed to slow down and take some time to rest. And so I really appreciate you allowing me to take the week off. You probably noticed that we didn't have an episode last week, and that was, partly fortuitous. It ended up falling on the 4th of July holiday at the time that we're recording this. So I hope you enjoyed your 4th of July holiday and your time with family and sun and fireworks and all that good stuff. And I really appreciate you allowing me that week to just allow my body to heal and to spend time with my family. But I'm so happy to be back here with you today. And believe it or not, I sound a little bit nasally still. This is the best I've sounded in 5 days. Today's episode is a bit special for me. I just renewed my personal training certification at the end of last month, which got me reminiscing and reflecting on my journey. I actually found my very first picture as a brand new personal trainer working at MZR Fitness in San Luis Obispo, California. I've linked it on our Instagram account at PCS-Proof Fitness. Head over there and take a gander at Baby Trainer Grace. By the way, did you know that the average personal trainer's career lasts only about 5 years? Well, now I've officially been at this for 8 years, and let me tell you, it's been an incredible ride, but it has looked drastically different than I ever could have imagined. To be honest, I was pretty naive when I got started. It would probably be fair to say that most people who enter this industry were just as naive as I was. I thought it would be a fun job. For me, it was a fun side job, and that I would get paid to work people out. Simple enough. Fun, and I get to work out and help other people work out. In fact, since I shared my story with you in episode 1, you know that honestly, the opportunity kind of fell into my lap. I was working in hospitality management at the time, and I was offered the opportunity to get certified and start training at the private gym that I was a member of. I thought, sure, I love working out. I know that I understand form and I have a good attitude. I love coaching people. This will be great. And that's all true, and it's important. But what I was naive about was just how much I did not know goes into being a great trainer and a great coach. In this episode, I want to pull back the curtain for you on what it's really like to be a certified personal trainer. Sure, it's incredibly rewarding. It really is. I feel so fortunate and lucky to get to do this, but there is so much more to it than most people realize, myself included, when I first got started. In fact, people tell me all the time that they want to become a trainer or they're thinking about getting certified, and I think that's awesome. The more people who are actually educated in this and not just posting their workouts on social media and claiming that they know what they're talking about, the better. But I will usually take the opportunity to really talk to them and find out if this is just a hobby or if they're really serious about making this a career, because it's not easy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of investment of time, of energy, and money. And you're not going to be making it rain in the money department, especially early on. Well, I believe that everyone who enters into this career field has the best intentions of wanting to help people. Not everyone's going to be cut out for this. And that's why every time I need to renew one of my coaching certifications, any of them. I feel like it's a milestone and it's a reaffirmation that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and I'm on the right path. As a certified personal trainer for the past 8 years, I've learned some invaluable lessons that have shaped not only my career, but also my personal life. Today, I'm going to share the top 8 lessons that I've learned along the way. These are from my experience and they are my opinions. I'm not going to make apologies about any of them. So whether you're a fellow trainer or somebody may be considering this as a career path, or you're just curious about the fitness world, get ready for some very likely eye-opening insights. Stick around. We'll jump in right after this.
Hey, fellow milspouse. Ever felt the frustration of being forced to restart your fitness routine every time military life throws you a curveball? Whether it's a PCS, a deployment, or a short-term assignment, disruptions can make progress feel nearly impossible. But now there's a solution designed just for you. The PCS-Proof Fitness Program from FitPath Coaching. Designed by a woman in military life, for women in military life. It's flexible, adaptable, and affordable. No more setbacks or starting over, just steady progress on your terms. Visit fitpathcoaching.com/PCS-proof-fitness to start your journey today. And as a special offer for our podcast listeners, get your first month free with promo code POD4FREE. That's POD, the number 4, FREE. Say goodbye to stress and frustration and hello to a stronger, healthier, happier you with PCS-Proof Fitness. Join us today and get ready to conquer any challenge military life sends your way. PCS-Proof Fitness, join today.
So let's start with lesson 1 of my top 8 lessons that I've learned so far in 8 years as a certified personal trainer. Lesson 1 is that the certification is just the start. The cert is just the start. When I was first starting to study for the certified personal training exam, I thought that I would be learning about all different types of exercises and biomechanics and how to write the best fat loss workouts and how to motivate people. What I quickly realized is that the certification really just lays down the foundation for how to keep our clients safe first and foremost. How to make sure that we're educated on how to screen people for suitability to start a fitness program and where to start them with a fitness program. And at first, this was really frustrating for me. I had my cert and I just didn't feel confident in how to write the best effective program. But now I realize that that foundation is so important because you can learn how to write programs, you can learn new exercises, you can learn all that. But if you don't have that critical lens for screening your clients for safety, the best program in the world could be putting your client at risk. And I think that lens, that critical lens and that screening ability, I think that is what really differentiates us as fitness professionals. Lesson 2 is to be prepared for the unexpected. One part of being a certified personal trainer is maintaining your current CPR AED certification. And I got my CPR cert way back in college when I was working at a sleepaway camp in upstate New York. And I've maintained it every 2 years since then. It's one of those things that you get and you hope that you'll never need. Welp, within the first few months of becoming a certified personal trainer, I was leading a morning boot camp fitness class and had one of the clients in the class collapse and lose consciousness during the warm-up. Now, I feel like I need to clarify that this event had absolutely nothing to do with the workout or the workout design, what we were doing, any of that. This client had been working out at that gym consistently for over 5 years. And what we found out later was that he had experienced a massive heart attack, one of those that they commonly call a widowmaker. And what we also found out later was that he had multiple predictors of increased cardiac risk that he had not disclosed to the gym or to some of his family. So without intervention, this event was only likely a matter of time before something happened. So in his case, he happened to be in the gym and surrounded by several people who were CPR AED certified. We were able to perform CPR until the ambulance arrived, and thank God he did survive. And I cannot tell you how unique that experience is of giving or performing CPR on another person. I hope that you never have to experience that. Maybe you already have, but I do hope that you'll always be prepared for it. I can very confidently tell you that it was not on my list of things I anticipated as a certified personal trainer. And maybe that just shows my naivete, because it absolutely can happen. It can happen anywhere. There's so much that happens outside of the gym that contributes to increased risk of a cardiac event. And in most cases, exercise should be part of the solution. But it's so important to be honest with your fitness professionals, just like you would with your physician. And this really ties in perfectly with lesson 1, is that it's our job as professionals to be able to screen that and be able to look out for your safety and your best interests. So that's maybe lesson 2.1, is make sure you're being honest with your fitness professionals, just like you would your doctor. Lesson 3 is to train smarter, not harder. In my experience, looking back, this is a big differentiator between a novice trainer and one with some experience under their belt. Many novice trainers, including myself at one point in my career, tend to think about how to make a workout hard, how to make their clients sweat and push them to their limit nearly every workout. Now I know there is a much more effective, much more efficient way to train and get better results with reduced risk of injury. Maybe this is kind of coming to us because it was modeled to us through what we saw of personal trainers in the media. Shows like The Biggest Loser and video workout programs like P90X. Not trying to call out P90X, but this is an example. They made it look and seem like that was what it meant to be a successful trainer. So that's what we tried to emulate. I was fortunate enough to have some great mentors in the fitness industry who showed and taught me that there is a better way. And yes, there does need to be a certain level of intensity in order to stimulate physiological response and adaptation in our bodies. That's just a proven fact, but it doesn't mean that we need to be working out at a level 10 every time. Absolutely not, in fact. Lesson 4, individualization is key, but don't reinvent the wheel. Individualization is key. No two bodies are the same, and what works for one person might not work for another. It's essential to have the skill and the knowledge to tailor fitness programs to individual needs, goals, individual physical conditions. As a trainer, this means getting to know my clients deeply and understanding their backgrounds and their unique challenges and their strengths. And simultaneously, I've learned over the years that you do not need to reinvent the wheel for every single client. I follow a few systems that were taught to me by fitness professionals who are much wiser than me and have been doing this for much longer than I. And then I adapt these proven systems to match the individual client and create their personal fitness program. So whether someone's dealing with old injuries or mobility issues or specific fitness goals, creating that personal recipe ensures that they're on the right path for them. It's not just about exercises. It's about creating a holistic plan that includes nutrition, recovery, and mental well-being. And that's where the education and the experience really come together. Lesson 5, teach, don't tell. I know some trainers who are so involved in their clients' lives that it ultimately ends up hindering their clients' progress. And I also know that there are people out there who really feel like they need someone holding them accountable to their workouts, to what they put in their mouths, to what time they're going to bed, to whether they can go out and grab drinks with their coworkers after work. I know that there's people out there who feel like that's what it means to be a personal trainer, is to have someone holding them accountable every single step of the way, every single day. I've even had clients in the past who would text me confession text that they had tacos last night for dinner, as if they expected me to make them feel guilty about it or to tell them that they needed to work out harder in order to burn that off, almost like it's a punishment and I was there to dole out the punishment. At a certain point, I've learned that we as fitness professionals have to stop the hand-holding. We've kind of created this relationship and we need to be the ones that instigate the change in that. I've had the wonderful fortune to work with some amazing young athletes who were not yet 18, but by and large, I realize I'm working with adults who are 100% capable of making the right decisions for themselves. I've realized that my role as a coach and as a professional is to be a resource of information and to empower my clients to make the decisions that are going to benefit them on their own. And holding someone's hand a little bit just to get started can be such a great thing. I needed some hand holding myself at the beginning of my fitness journey. But for the best interest of my client success, it has to end, and probably sooner than we think. How long does that take? It really depends on the individual. But as a personal trainer, going into that relationship with the mindset of setting them up for long-term success and empowerment rather than reliance on me to be there forever, that is the important part. Because if I fall off the face of the earth, then where would they be? I often tell the women that I work with that while I love them and I would love the opportunity to keep working with them forever, it's my job to teach them so that they can keep this going forever without needing me forever. I'm committed to their success well beyond our time working together. Lesson 6, nutrition is a non-negotiable. I'm sure you've heard this adage, you can't out-train a bad diet. We hear it, we acknowledge it, and then we keep eating the same and go to the gym expecting our workouts to carry us to the finish line, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Early on in my career as a certified personal trainer, I was really afraid of going outside of my scope of practice and advising on nutrition, especially because everyone seemed to be asking for a meal plan, which only a registered dietitian or a nutritionist should be providing, not a PT or not even a health coach. So even I fell into the trap of over-prioritizing exercise and under-emphasizing the importance of nutrition. And maybe under-emphasizing is the wrong word. I think it was just more like barely emphasizing it at all, which probably is no better if I'm being completely honest. But when I really started to build my confidence in teaching clients about nutrition, and a lot of that confidence came from continued education. I became a certified health coach, and I followed that up with a fitness nutrition specialist certification. Only then did my clients' results dramatically improve. And again, this is not about telling them what to eat. It's about teaching and supporting their choices to eat the way that makes them happy and also helps them feel confident that the choices are aligned with their goals. And if not, how to decide strategically what to adjust. So that's lesson 6. Nutrition is a non-negotiable. Lesson 7 is that the learning never ends. The journey of a personal trainer doesn't end with a certification. As I mentioned toward the top, it's really just the beginning. And it's not even the beginning. It's just the walk up to the starting line. The journey of a certified personal trainer is a continuous process of learning and growing. It never ends. Attending workshops, earning new certifications, staying curious. Those have been instrumental in my career. In fact, I think it's one of the biggest reasons why I'm still so solidly in this career path. Have you ever heard or done the Strength Finders assessment? If not, I highly recommend it. It's an assessment that gives you your ranked character strengths. Well, one of my top 5 character strengths is learning. I love to learn. It's what keeps me engaged in any pursuit. And historically, a lack of mental stimulation in a job or in a relationship has been a very effective way for me to quit and find another opportunity. What we know about health and fitness and nutrition and human behavior, it's all constantly evolving. And I love that I get to keep learning and evolving along the path. This commitment to ongoing learning and education not only enhances my skills, but also ensures that my clients are receiving the best and most up-to-date guidance possible. And I learn so much from the women that I work with as well. They're constantly forcing me to become a better coach, and I love that. And lesson 8 is that I reserve the right to get better. The fitness industry is constantly evolving. New research, new tools, new trends, new technologies, they're emerging all the time. I feel like young trainer Grace felt so much pressure to know it all, to have all the answers and to keep up with all of the newest tools and techniques. And not to mention, especially when I was first getting started, I felt like there was so much competition and I always felt like I was behind. Fortunately, time and experience, probably a lot of years of military life, have made me realize that I don't need to have all the answers. And I realized that I didn't need to be the best at everything. I just needed to keep at it and continually improve. Eventually, I would either outlearn or outlast whatever competition I might have felt that there was at the beginning. Which is why I love this saying that I commandeered from my coach, Alan Cosgrove. I reserve the right to get better. To me, this means that I'm going to provide my clients with the best information, the best programs, and the best tools that are available right now. And that I understand that as I learn more and I gather more experience, I maintain my ability to evolve with it Who knows? These things that we currently think of as the standards could be proved completely wrong 10 years from now. But I'll be ready to adapt if and when that happens. I'll stay ready to improve. Whether it's incorporating new training techniques, trying out different workout modalities, or staying updated on the latest nutrition guidance, I'm committed to being adaptable in order to keep my programs effective. And that goes for my clients as well. Being willing to adjust and adapt as a certified personal trainer also means being flexible with clients' needs and being ready to adapt the best systems to accommodate their paths. I reserve the right to get better. So there you have it. The top 8 lessons I've learned so far in my 8 years as a certified personal trainer. Each lesson has shaped my approach, and it's helped me become a better trainer, a better coach, a better person. Like I mentioned at the top, this has been such a rewarding and fulfilling journey so far, but I can't say that it's always been easy. It takes a massive amount of humility and stick-to-itness to get through those first few years, and then even after those first few years, to be ready to level up and solidify your place in this industry, it takes a new level of humility and grit. And if you're crazy enough to want to start your own fitness company, well, that's a whole separate list of lessons that I could share. In fact, in September, we'll be celebrating the 5-year anniversary of FitPath Coaching. And maybe I'll plan to share some of the biggest lessons that I've learned on that journey of entrepreneurship with you. Would you like that? I'd love to hear if you'd like that. So leave me a comment on this episode on Spotify, or you could head over to Instagram at PCS-Proof Podcast and leave me a message and share your thoughts and your feedback. I'd be so grateful if you could just take a quick second and make sure that you're following this podcast on your favorite listening platform. And while you're there, leave us a 5-star review. It really helps the algorithm to get this podcast out to our larger community of military spouses and women in military life who need to hear this information and these resources. That's all for this week's episode. Until next week, remember, no matter where in the world military life sends you, together we are PCS Proof. Adios.
And here is the legal language. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional advice. The views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or fitpathcoaching.com. Moreover, we are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast.